Have you ever noticed people that have very high expectations and also will tell you that they have very high expectations, also have really low resistance to things going wrong? And if one thing goes wrong or two things go wrong, they usually lose their mind. As a leader, you don't get to make every single decision. Hell, you don't even get to make 95% of the decisions. The higher up you go, the events have already taken place. We are already in whatever spot that you get to when you get involved. So you ask people, what do you want to do? You hear everything. You value the differences inside the room, whether it's your team or your peers or you just walking into a situation. And you say, okay, guys, what do you want to do? And you go around the room because you'll be shocked how you might have an idea in your mind, but you speak last because you're the leader. And by the time it gets around 4, 5, 8 people, you're like, damn, that's a hell of a lot better than I thought of. And you say, hey, Carl, listen, I got to let you know, I think that's dynamite. And then they get the recognition amongst their peers. They get the enthusiasm because you actually listened. Everybody understands that at least you heard me out. That stuff's the good stuff. And you as a leader don't have to make the ultimate decision just based on whatever your gut is. Gut's important, don't get me wrong. But when people have crazy expectations and your team either doesn't know them or is so unable to hit those things, it's amazing how they just kind of spin out of control. So, your reaction is key. You have high expectations? Great. How did you get there? Did you get there by asking everybody? Did you get there by letting them know what the expectations are for every meeting? Did you let them know how the past meetings have gone and how you're able to solve the issues as a group? Maybe at that point, your expectations drop a little bit because you know your team has it. You can still have crazy high expectations, but you got to have crazy high trust too. Trust your team because 95% of the time you don't need to be involved. They got it. And honestly, that's what they're paid for. So if you find yourself super tasky in the weeds when you have a team, ask yourself why. And then you sit back and you say, guys, I would love to know what you think. And if it's the first time or you're new to the team, people will be like, whoa, like, what do you mean? And people will be shy at first. But the more that you give them that psychological safety to shine, the easier it is for them. And then your expectations stay high, your trust stays high, and the product stays high. So be a leader. You put the expectations wherever you are. But if it's not where you want it to be, what are you prepared to do? That's the difference. Be a leader.